I welcome all of you on today's day 2 of Paramashivoham as we start our first session with Nithyananda Yoga. Now we'll be performing Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama, which is a sequence of 308 asanas. Now as we get ready onto our yoga mats, let's get few things ready before we start. Apply bhasma on all the 16 places, as you can see, forehead, all these places that I'm showing where you have to apply the bhasma. If you have little, apply it on the forehead. The next, apply kumkum on your third eye. If you have turmeric, apply it on your temples. Now wear the Rudraksh Mala. Hold, bring Panchpatram and cup and have water in the Panchpatram with ready. Now if you are in the male body, please remove your upper clothes. Please take few moments as you get ready with few things. Then we'll be starting with the Nithyananda Yoga. Now, as you sit with head and spine in a straight line, bring both the hands in Atmanjali Mudra. We'll be starting with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Next we'll be chanting Shiv Mool mantra 11 times internally. Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha. 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 Om Ham Ham Shivaya Namaha.
The next is the ritualistic cleansing, the Achamana. Now please take your Panchapatram and Uddharani and place it in front of you. Place your right hand in Gokarna Mudra, which is keeping all the fingers straight and bending the index finger towards the center of the palm, making a small cup with your palms. Now with the Uddharani, the spoon, take one spoon and pour it in the middle of your palms. When you hear the word Swada, drink the water. Om Atmadattvam Shodayami Swada. Now pour a spoon of water in your hand and drink it. Vidyadattvam Shodayami Swada. Now again pour a spoon of water and drink it. Shivadattvam Shodayami Swada. Now with the Uddharani of water, wash your hands. Now with the base of the right hand thumb, wipe the upper and lower lip once. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Now wash your hands with the Uddharani of water. Now with the right hand index, middle and ring fingers touch above the upper lip and below the lower lip. Wash your hands again with an Uddharani of water. Now with the index finger and thumb touch the right nostril, the left nostril. With the ring finger and thumb touch the right eye, right ear, left ear. Then wash your hands with an Uddharani of water. Now, with the little finger and thumb touch the navel, the right chest, the left chest, and with all the fingers together touch above the head, the right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart center. Now wash your hands. Now keep your right palm on your left palm and place both your hands on your right thigh. Now we'll be performing the sankalpa, which is the conscious resolution. Now intensely sit with your eyes closed. As you listen to the mantras, hold on to that one declaration that you want to manifest through this sequence, through this intense practice of the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. Om Mamopartha Samasta Dhuridakshaya Dwara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartam Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartam Cha Adhya Purvokta Evam Guna Visheshena Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhaditao Purana Arogya Yukta Dhrudagatriya Yaugika Sharira Siddhyartam Paramashiva Shakti Avishkaranatam Nithyananda Yogabhyasam Karishye. Om. Now, with an udharni of water, wash your hands. Apaupasprishyam.
Now, as we have completed the ritualistic cleansing and made the conscious resolution through Sankalpa, now we are ready to enter into the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama 308 asana sequence. Now, before we do so, let's take a moment of 12 components. Now, the first component is asana. Now, asana refers to the various body postures practiced during the DVK. Now, it is each asana, a distinct set of energy circuit is engaged, subsequently stimulating the connected energy centers. These activated energy centers plays a crucial role in promoting both healing and energization of the body. The next component is pranayama. Now, as we inhale, with the air, prana flows in the body, which we take from the surrounding air and space. Now, where it prevents the escape of prana while eliminating the unwanted apana from the body. The next component is mudras. Mudras encompass a range of hand and body gestures. Even the tongue, as you can see the few movements of hands, tongues, as it's incorporated into the practice as mudras. Now, these mudras play a vital role in stimulating the nadis, which are the body's energy channels, which activates the body energy centers. The next component is bandhas. Now, as most of the time our energy leaks from our body, through bandhas, we retain and direct the energy within the body. As we perform three and the fourth bandha, which is a combination of the three bandhas, which is Moola bandha, Udyana bandha, Jalanda bandha, and the fourth one is Moola bandha. Moola bandha is when you contract the perineum muscles up. That will be indicated in the red circle on the left side. The Udyana bandha, it involves the pulling the stomach in and up, which will be represented by the yellow circle. The Jalandhar bandha, when you lock the chin to the chest, is Jalandhar bandha. It will be marked as blue circle. Now, when you apply all the three bandhas, it forms Mahamudra bandha. Altogether, is called Mahamudra bandha. Now, the next component is visualization. In the Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, as context and intention is everything. Why we move our body, with what intention we move our body will be delivered to us. Now, while performing the asanas, we visualize gods, sages, animals and other powerful elements. As we do so, we embody the energies of that particular gods and goddesses, radiating them across our body. The next asana is japa. Now, the internal chanting of the Mahavakya as initiated and given by Swamiji. Now, these chanting helps us to keep us in the high state of unclutching, enhancing our focus while yoga practice. The next component is karana. Now, the various dance postures given to us by Paramashivam himself to the whole world. Now, as we perform karnas, we embody the space of Nataraja, who performs the cosmic dance and performs the 5 actions, Panchkritya of Paramashiva. When we perform the karnas and hold the space for your intentions to become reality. Now, the next component is chanting. Now, these chanting are from the Shastra Pramanas, the authentic spiritual references of each asana derived from Vedas and Agamas. Chanting these Pramanas serves as a reminder that this yoga has been bestowed upon by the Paramashiva himself, and we are practicing the authentic yoga. The next next component is weightlifting. Now, an option to enhance the entire DVK practice, and give you the experience, incorporating the weights into the asanas, adding an element of challenge and intrigue, elevating your experience of the practice itself. The next component is yantras. Now, yantras or the mandalas are the intricate geometric figures bestowed upon by the Paramashiva in the DVK practice. We'll be using Sri Yantra, as you can see behind a Sri Yantra being displayed at the back. Now, when you focus your gaze upon these yantras, these energy contained within the yantras are awakened within you through the process of quantum entanglement. Now, the next component is abharana, the sacred jewelry. Now, we use Rudraksha beads, known for their powerful energy holding capacity. Rudraksha acts as the spiritual batteries, preserving the super consciousness energy generated during the yoga practice in Swamiji's presence. Now, the last component is Aushadha. Now, the sacred alchemy products are the medical herbs. In DVK practice, we use 3 Aushadhas, Vibhuti. As you can see, it is to be applied on the 16 places. And the next is Kumkum, as we apply it on the 3rd eye. The turmeric on the temples. Now, as we are equipped with the insights into each component, and each component will be performed in each single asana. Now, let's initiate the DVK practice. As we begin with unwavering focus and dedication, let's enter into the asana sequence of 308 asana sequence. Now, as we start with the first asana, which is Sukhasana. Now, sit comfortably with cross-legged position with head neck spine in a straight line. Now, bring the index and thumb together, placing it on the respective knees in Bindu Mudra. Now, the japa is Soham. The first pranayama is Samana pranayama, which is inhaling through the spine to the navel center. Visualize Lord Shiva in your inner space as we perform all the 3 bandhas, Mula Bandha, Udyan Bandha and Jalandhar Bandha. All together is Mahamudra Bandha.
Tatsuka asanamityuktam ashaktastat samacharet.
Release Udyan Bandha. Now, the next asana is Parvatasana. Now, bring the legs in Padmasana with hands together, palms together at the heart center. Raise it above the head straight. Visualize Mount Kailasa in your own space as you perform all the 3 bandhas.
अथ वक्षे महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलं यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् षट्चक्राधिविलोपनम्.
Now release all the three bandhas. The next asana is Halipavasana. Now bring soles of the feet together, hands at the back interlaced. As you bend down, place the forehead on the ground behind the heels. Gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform all the three bandhas.
पूर्वविधियाहु मे जानो उभे पकतली सम्पुटटानो.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Nagipavasana. Again from the same position, cup both the hands in front. Gaze to the nose as you visualize cobra, snake in your space, performing all the three bandhas. Place the forehead on the ground behind the heels.
पूर्वविधि पर्यागानी नीचो हो ही कहू निपनास्यो लगाई.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Kokilasana. Now as you hold the big toe in Prana Mudra with the respective hand, lift the legs up, then cross the legs in Padmasana. Now put the elbows down on the ground. Visualize bird in your inner space as you perform all the three bandhas.
अथान्यासनमावक्षे येन सिद्धो भवे नरः अकस्माद्वायुसञ्चारं कोकिलाख्यासनेन च.
Now release all three bandhas. Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Nithyananda. Now place ankles on the opposite knees. Hold the opposite elbows. Gaze to the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform all the three bandhas. Then rotate the hands in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction.
घोड़ा बाबा पाद की आँख माखिली सोये दच चरण को वारिलो तापरि गुल्प समोये.
Now relax. The next asana is Gajasana. Now bring both the hands on the ground, hip high, legs on the ground. Now we'll be visualizing elephant in the inner space as we scoop the head down and forward again and again, performing Moolabandha and Dhyanabandha.
नुज्यं पादाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भूयमस्तकाग्रे निधाय.
Now relax. From the same Gajasana position, we move to next asana, which is Rikshasana. Now lift the right leg heel, pulling the left leg heel on the ground. We'll be exchanging the position alternatively. Visualize bear in your space as you perform Moolabandha and Udyanabandha.
एकं पादमाकुञ्च गजासनं कुर्यात् वृक्षासनं भवति.
Now stand tall, rise up. The next asana is Vaishasana. As you stand tall on the big toe, place both the hands at the heart center. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you perform Moolabandha and Udyanabandha.
केशेन पादयुलं दत्वा तिष्ठेत दोमकः.
Now drop the leg heels down on the ground. The first karna is Urdhva Janu Karna. Now bring the legs in Aramandi position, which is heels together, toes apart at 45 degree, knees bent. Bring both the hands at the heart center, parallel to the ground. Now we'll be rotating our hand and right hand and right leg across the body, bringing it from outside to the heart center, then down. Repeating it on the other side as well, again and again on both the sides. This is Urdhva Janu Karna. Now relax. The next asana is Balalingasana. As I stand on the left leg, bring the right knee to the chest, hands interlaced from outside inward in Sarva Shankari Mudra. Visualize you are caressing a baby, performing all the three bandhas.
एकं जान उर्स्यालिङ्ग्यस्तातव्यं भाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Inhale, relax. The next asana is Padapida Asana. Now as you bring the right leg at the back of the buttocks, hold on with both the hands. Keep the head neck spine in a straight line as we visualize Swamiji in inner space performing all the three bandhas in Mahamudrasana.
स्थित्वैकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां यष्टयेतनुम्.
Now the next asana is Nataraj Asana. Now with the respective hand hold to the feet. Bring the right leg, pulling it back. Left hand in Bindu Mudra at front. Bend the body forward. Visualize Lord Nataraja in your space as you perform Nataraj Asana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now relax. We'll be repeating Balalingasana on the other side. As you stand on the right leg, bring the left knee. Hands in Sarva Shankari Mudra. Perform all the 3 bandhas. As visualize you are carrying a baby.
एकं जान उर्स्यालिङ्ग्यस्तातव्यं भाललिङ्गनं भवति.
Relax. The next asana we'll be repeating is Padpidanasana. As you bring the left leg behind the buttocks, holding with both the hands. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform all the 3 bandhas.
स्थित्वा एकस्मिन् पादतले कराभ्यां यष्टयतनं पृष्ठे पादपीडनमासनम्.
Relax. The next asana is Natarajasana on the other side. As you stand on the right leg, bring the left leg, kick it back, holding with the left hand, bring the right hand in Buddha Mudra at front, bend, lean the body forward.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Relax. The next karna we'll be performing is Ardharechita karna. Now again, bringing the legs in Aramandi position. Bring the right leg behind the left leg, the toe facing down, heels up. Bring the left hand to the chest, bring the right hand to the nose. Swing it like a pendulum on one side. Now, exchange the position of the legs and hand. Swing the left hand in pendulum. Now, relax. The next is a skeleton dance. Now, visualize yourself as a pure skeleton. Shake the body intensely. As you shake the body, visualize you have become pure bones. Relax all your muscles without any convulsions. Shake your body intensely. Now as you relax, the next karana is Katichina karna. Again in the Aramandi position, which is heels together, legs 45 degree. Bend, knees bend. Bring both the hands at the back, palm facing back. Now twist the hip and hand, open the hand wide in right side and repeat this on the left. Now relax. The next
I bless you all. Let you all open all your 3 eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
The next asana is Tadasana. Now, as we stand tall on the big toe, now bring both the hands above the head, palms facing each other. Now head beside the ears. Visualize palm tree in your space as you perform all the three bandhas in Mahamudra Bandha.
महामुद्रा भद्रगौणो ताडासन विभेदकान्विनो तानं सदा कुर्यात् अन्तर्वत्नीयते प्रिया.
Now drop your heels on the ground. The next asana is Uttanasana. As we, from the standing position, we bend down. Place both the hands beside side of the legs. As you bring the head to the knees, visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
महामुद्रा भद्रगौणो ताडासन विभेदकान्विनो तानं सदा कुर्यात् अन्तर्वत्नीयते प्रिया.
If you dropped your mala, please wear it again. Now bring the body in plank position as we move to the next asana, which is Tarakshvasana. Now tuck the chin to the chest in Tarakshvasana. Now rotate from left, right, again, repeating in constantly repeating the head in opposite directions. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गजासनवस्थित्वा मस्तकं वारं वारं दक्षिणकक्षं सव्यकक्षं नयेत् तरक्ष्वासनं भवति.
Now as you lower your body down on the ground, the next asana we'll be performing is Bhujangasana, where the feet extended back, toes at the facing back, hands side of the chest. Now visualize Cobra in your space as you lift the chest, open your mouth wide and inhale through the hollow of the throat.
अंगुष्ठनाभिपर्यन्तम् अधो भूमौ विनिन्दिशेत् कराभ्यां जतरां धृत्वा ऊर्ध्वशीर्षः पनीवहि.
Now the next asana is Sasasana. As you bring the body in plank position again, now bring the left leg knee to the chest. Now exchanging the position alternatively with both the legs. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you perform Sasasana.
गजासनसंस्थितौ जानुद्वयमाकुञ्च वारं वारं कर्तव्यं शासनं भवति.
And again from the plank position, the next asana is Rathasana. Now bring the right leg between the hands. Jump and bring the left leg. Alternatively, switch the position of the leg. Visualize chariot in your space.
गजासनसंस्थितौ एकैकं पादं पुरोमार्गेण भ्रामयित्वा कर्तव्यं रतासनं भवति.
Now, the next asana is Virabhadrasana. As you bring the right leg front, toes facing forward, left leg back, feet open wide, sides. Now, bring the right leg at 90 degree. Gaze to the third eye. Bring both the hands above the head, palms facing each other. Visualize Lord Virabhadra in your space as you perform Uddiyana Bandha and Moola Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Inhale. Change the position of your leg. We'll be performing Virabhadrasana. Bend the left knee at 90 degree. Bring both the hands above the head. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Lord Virabhadra in your space as we perform Moola Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Inhale. Now, the next asana is Vrikshasana. Now, stand on the left leg Bring the right leg on the inner thigh of the left. Bring both the hands together at the heart center. Raise it above the head. Visualize 3 in your space as you perform Moola Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha.
वामोर्मूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतोत्तिष्ठेत् वृक्षवद्भूमौ वृक्षासनसंविदुः.
Now the next asana is Garudasana. Now bring the right leg on the opposite hip. Bring both the hands at the heart center in Namaskar Mudra. Visualize Lord Garuda in his space as you perform Garudasana.
गरुडासनमावक्ष्य येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भुवि सर्वदोषाद्विनिर्मुक्तो भवति य महाबली.
Now drop the right leg on the ground. Now we'll be repeating Vrikshasana on the other sides as we lift the left leg onto the inner thigh of the right. Bring both the hands, Namaskar Mudra at the heart center, bring it above the head. Visualize tree in your space as you perform Moola Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha.
वामोर्मूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतोत्तिष्ठेत् वृक्षवद्भूमौ वृक्षासनं इदं विदुः.
Now drop the left leg down. Now the next asana is Garudasana. Bring the left leg onto the opposite hip. Hands in Namaskar Mudra at the heart center. Visualize Lord Garuda in his space performing Garudasana.
गरुडासनमावक्ष्य येन ध्यानं स्थिरं भुवि सर्वदोषाद्विनिर्मुक्तो भवति य महाबली.
Now drop the left leg. Now the next asana is Trikonasana as we bring right leg at front, toes facing forward. Left leg at the back, feet open sideways. Now bring both the hands back to the ground as you lower the right hand down, gaze to the sky, bring through the palms. Visualize triangle in your space as you perform Trikonasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Inhale, rise up as we exchange the position. Now bring the left leg at front, right leg at the back, feet open sideways. Bring both the hands parallel to the ground, bend down, gaze to the sky. Visualize triangle in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Inhale, rise up. Now we'll be performing Nikutaka Karna. Again, stand in Armandi. Now bring both the hands at the heart center. Left hand down, right hand up, palms facing each other as we lift the heel of the right leg. Now we'll be exchanging the position of the hand and leg simultaneously, alternatively shifting the position again and again. This is Nikutaka Karna. Now relax. The next asana is Angushthasana. Now with the toes tucked, sit on the heels, perineum on the heels. Now with the knees together, palms in Namaskar Mudra. Visualize Swamiji in your space. Now the new pranayama is Bhramari Pranayama. Inhale like a male bee, exhale like a female bee.
कबन्धासनमित्याहो गोरक्षासनमेव च अङ्गुष्ठमुष्टिकं येयं ब्रह्मप्रसादितं तथा.
The next asana is Saurasana. Now as we bring the right leg front, toe facing up, fingers touching the ground, palm facing front in Varamudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform Saurasana.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
The next asana is Vidhunanasana. Now from the same position, bring the right hand in Pranamudra, hold the big toe of the right leg. Now bring the left hand, touch the ankle of the left leg, bend down, touch the head to the knees. Vijaya Swamiji in your space. Now keep continuing the Bhramari Pranayama.
गुल्पस्थितौ पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्थितेत् तत्करेण.
Inhale, rise up. Now we'll be repeating Saurasana on the other side as you bring the left leg front, toe facing upward, hands in Varamudra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रसार्य एकं पादतलं संस्थाप्य त्वेकपादकम्.
Now we'll be repeating Vidhunasana on the other side as you Bring the left hand in Pranamudra. Hold the big toe of the left hand, left leg. Now bend the head to the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you hold the ankle of the right leg.
गुल्पस्थितौ पादमेकं प्रसार्य तत्पादाग्रं संस्थिते तत्करेण.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Brahmajurankus asana with the toes tucked, perineum on the heels. Now create a gap between the knees, back of the hands facing, placing it on the knees.
Niveसे edido goda nivese korpakadalya ki mahili aismahera semili.
Now release the visualize Sage Kapila in space as you perform Mulabha, same sitting position. Shift the gaze from nose as the soles of the feet, toes tucked above the head, gazing through the asana is Mandukasana. Now, as you sit on this nectar flowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, dipping down to the third eye, visualize frog in your space as you perform. Cross ankles at the back. Hands
दक्षिणं सव्यगुल्पेन दक्षिणेतरेतरं हस्तौ जजान्वौ संस्थाप्य स्वाङ्गुलेश्च प्रसारे.
hold the opposite toes. Gaze to the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform Mula part. Hands at the wrap at the back. Gaze to the nose as you visualize crow in your inner space. Continuing the Bhavani Pranayama. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you perform Kani Pavasana.
आसन को गुण आसीद सुता होई तू आची होई.
The next asana is Kapilasana. Now with both the hands on the ground, shoulder width apart, bring the top of the head on the ground. Now forming a triangle. Now with the knees on the hand, lift the leg down. The next asana is Parsha Mayurasana. Now squat on the toes with legs together. Now twist the body on right side. Now both the hands of both the elbows on the hip and thigh. Now lean forward, gaze to the third eye. Now extend the legs outside on the sides. Now perform Parshvamayurasana, visualizing peacock in your inner space.
मयूरं दण्डवत् कुर्यात् मयूरं दण्डनामकं कुर्यान् मयूरं पार्श्वाभ्यां मयूरपार्श्वनामकम्.
Now relax. We'll be performing Parshvamayurasana on the other side as you twist the body on the left side. Elbows on the knee and the hip. Extend the legs outward sides. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize peacock in your inner space.
मयूरं दण्डवत् कुर्यात् मयूरं दण्डनामकं कुर्यान् मयूरं पार्श्वाभ्यां मयूरपार्श्वनामकम्.
Now relax. The next asana is Vairagyanathaasana. Now from the plank position, bring the right leg from outside between the hands. Gaze to the third eye as you visualize Lord Kalabhairava in your inner space.
आसन को गुण पीति जाई.
Now bring the right leg back. Now bring left leg from outside between the hands. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Lord Kalabhairava in your space. Performing Vairagyanathaasana on the other side.
आसन को गुण पीति जाई.
Now again from the plank position, we will be performing Unumukh Pitha Asana. Now bring the elbows onto the ground, hips high. Bring the legs forward. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
भून्यस्थौ जाननी हस्तौ चतुष्पदवन्मुखम्.
Now the next asana is Vasishtha Asana. From the plank position, left hand on the ground, twist the body, bring left hand up towards the sky, gaze to the sky, visualize Sage Vasishtha in your inner space.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठ मरीचिहलमत्स्यकं परिवृत्तं चोदरस्य विविधं धनुरासनम्.
Now as we rotate and perform Vasishthasana on the other side, raise the hand, left hand up towards the sky, gaze. Visualize Sage Vasishthasana, Vasishtha in your inner space.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठ मरीचिहलमत्स्यकम्.
Inhale. Now bring both the legs front, extended forward, toes facing up. Gaze to the nose as you bring both the hands, palms facing up underneath the buttocks. Visualize Lord Hanuman in your space as you perform Jalanda Bandha and Mulabandha.
दो करा की उबे हथेली कोरवाली मेले भेली.
Release the bandha as you bring the hands in prana mudra, touching both the respective big toe with the hands. We'll be performing Paschimottanasana as you bend down, touch the head to the knees, visualize Swamiji in your space, performing all the three bandhas.
जानो पर इल्ललाटम तो पश्चिमं तानु मुच्यते.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Ugrasana. Now bring interlace both the hands at the back of the head, bend down, head to the knees. Visualize Kali in your space, performing all the three bandhas.
स्वपानिभ्यां दृढं दित्वा जानोपरि शिरोन्यसेत् आसनमिदं प्रोक्तं भवेद् निलिदीपनम्.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Marichiyasana. As you bring the right leg heel to the perineum, knees raised, wrap the hands at the back, head to the knees. Visualize Sage Marichi in your space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Mahamudrasana. As you drop the raised knee onto the ground, gaze to the nose as you perform all the three bandhas, bringing head to the knee. The japa is Sahaja
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रस्मिन् वल्लभे.
Inhale, rise up. As you bring the right leg at front, extended front, bring the left heel to the perineum, knee raised, wrap the hands at the back, bring head to the knees. Visualize Sage Marichi in a space, performing Marichiyasana.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Inhale, rise up. Now drop the raised knee onto the ground. Gaze to the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you touch the head to the knees, performing all the three bandhas.
महामुद्रां प्रवक्ष्यामि तन्त्रेऽस्मिन् मम वल्लभे.
Inhale, rise up. Now bring soles of the feet together. We'll be performing Bhadrasana 2. Now with soles of the feet together, heels close to the perineum, hands interlace at front, gaze to the third eye as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गुल्पस्थितौ गुल्पौ तु कृष्णस्यादः शिवन्याः पार्श्वयोः क्षिपेत्.
Now the next asana is Gwalipasana. With soles of the feet together, extend the legs forward, heels together, heels apart, toes together, hands on the respective knees. Gaze to the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you perform Mulabandha and Chalandarbandha.
पूर्वचर परचोकह्य सोहि वाहि विद्यो की जी सोयि.
Now release the Jalandabandha. The next asana is Joniasana. As you bring the soles of the feet together, heels close to the perineum. Hold the soles of the feet. As you bend down, touch the nose to the ground, gaze to the nose, performing Now extend hands sidewise. Now touch forehead on the ground behind the heels. Now gaze to the nose as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्वविधि पगी परी पगतली संपुटे सोल एड़ी मिली रासे.
Inhale, rise up. With the soles of the feet together, heels close to the perineum. We'll be performing Siddha Samadhi Asana as you separate the heels. Bring the hands underneath the legs. Gaze to the nose. Bend down. Touch the forehead on the ground. Throat to the big toe.
दो पगतली संपुट करे सोल मेरे आज्ञा में धरे.
Inhale, rise up. The next asana is Chinnaki Asana. Now with the soles of the feet together, heels close to the perineum. Open the sole feet like a book, with holding it with both the hands. Now keep the elbows on the knees, respective knees. As you gaze to the nose, visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पगतली येडी धरती मगिवा मेल लगावे.
Inhale, rise up, soles of the feet together. We'll be performing Chakasana as place both the hands on the respective knees. Gaze to the third eye. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha.
दो पगतली संप्रदारे आगा में करे चार पसारे.
Now relax. The next asana is Bhairavasana. Now sit and bring the toes, soles of the feet together with toes on the ground, knees apart, heels up. Now bring both the hands in Bindu Mudra on the respective knees. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Lord Kala Bhairava in your inner space as you perform Mool Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha.
गुल्पो संपीड्य चान्योन्यं युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
Now relax. The next asana is Samanasana. Now with left heel close to the perineum, lift the right leg to the chest. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your space as you perform Samanasana.
समानासनमा वक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनादेक पादमनो बुद्धद्वा गुह्योन्यलिङ्गवत्तर्गे.
The next asana is Apanasana. Now from the same position, bring the right leg on the top of the shoulders. Raise the other leg. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोऽपि यत्नतः.
Now lower your legs down. We will be performing Samanasana on the other side as you bring the right heel close to the perineum. Lift the left leg to the chest. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as you perform Samanasana on the other side.
समानासनमा वक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादि साधनात्.
Now from the same position, we'll be repeating Apanasana. Now bring the left leg on the top of the shoulders. Lift the right leg. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोऽपि यत्नतः.
Lower your legs down. The next asana is Gomukhasana. As you bring the left leg, fold the left leg down, bring the right leg on the top of the left, interlace the fingers on the top knee. Gaze to the nose as you visualize cow in your space, and the new pranayama is Sitakari pranayama. The japa is Om Nithyanandoham.
सव्ये दक्षिणकल्पन्तो पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजये दक्षिणे पिता सव्यं गोमुखं गोमुखं यथा.
The next asana is Anushyaasana. Now with both the hands in Prana Mudra, hold the opposite toes. Gaze toward the nose as you visualize Rishika Anushya in your inner space performing Chitkari Pranayama, then enter into Mulbandha and Dhyanbandha.
दक्षिण गोड़ो नीकोटाने वामोता के ऊपर आने.
Now release the Dhyanbandha as you move to Anushasana 2. Now hands interlaced at the back, gaze to the nose. As you bend down, touch the nose to the ground. Visualize Rishika Anushya in your inner space.
जीवना गोड़ा की संधि उपरिदावा गोड़ा की संधि.
Rise up. The next asana is Garudasana. As you bring the left heel to the perineum, right leg, knee raised, feet on the ground, hands on the respective knees, gaze to the nose as you visualize Lord Garuda in your inner space.
दो पगवा मोरी एड़ी महिलवा गुल्पमूलद्वारिणी कैदे.
Next asana is Naradasana. Now sit on the left heel. Now interlace the fingers at the back. Gaze to the third eye as you twist. On the right side, visualize sage Narada in your inner space.
पिष्ट जुवाम पगलिली केरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Now twist your body. The next asana is Matsya Pindakasana. Now bring the left leg on the opposite thigh. Now with the right knee raised, hold the right toe with right hand in Pranamudra. Hold the chin out from the left hand. Gaze to the nose as you perform Siddhikari Pranayama, as you visualize Matsya, the avatar incarnation of Lord Vishnu.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीत्यं मत्स्यपीठकम्.
Now, we'll be repeating Gomukhasana on the other side as you bring the right leg on the ground, left leg on the top, hands interlaced on the top knee, gaze to the nose as you visualize cow in your inner space performing Siddhikari Pranayama.
सव्ये दक्षिणकल्पन्तो पृष्ठपार्श्वे नियोजयेत्.
The next asana is Anushasana. Bring both the hands in Prana Mudra. Hold the opposite toe as you gaze to the nose. Visualize Rishika Anusha in your inner space. Perform Siddhikari Pranayama, then Uddiyana Bandha and Mulabandha.
दक्षिण गोड़ों नीकोटाने वामोटा के ऊपर आने.
Uddiyana Bandha. Now interlace the fingers at the back. We'll be performing Anushasana 2. Now gaze to the nose as you bend down. Front, bring nose to the ground. Visualize Rishika Anusha in your inner space.
जीमना गोड़ा की संधि ऊपर दावा गोड़ा की संधि.
Inhale, rise up. Now, the next asana is Garudasana on the other side. Now, bring the right heel to the perineum, left knee raised, hands on the respective knees, gaze to the nose as you visualize Lord Garuda in your inner space. Performing Siddhikari Pranayama.
धोवो पगवा मोड़ी एडी महिवा गुलपनी मूलद्वारिणी चैदे.
The next asana is Naradasana. Now, sit on the right knee, right heel. Interlace the fingers at the back as you twist the body on left side. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize sage Narada in your inner space.
पृष्ठजिह्वां पकड़ले गहरी भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी.
Relax and untwist your body. The next asana is Matsya Pitapasana. Now, as you bring the right leg on the left thigh, left knee raised, visualize Matsya in your inner space as you hold on to the toe with the left hand and chin with the right hand, gaze to the nose, performing Matsya Pitakasana.
वामेन वामाङ्गुष्टन्तो गृहीत्वं मत्स्यपीठकम्.
Now, with both the legs extended forward, we'll be performing Matsendrasana. Now bring left leg onto the opposite thigh, raise the opposite knee, twist on the right side. Now elbow on the knee, right hand on the ground, performing gaze to the third eye, perform Matsendrasana.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
On the same position, bring the left hand in Prana Mudra, hold the toe of the right, bring the right hand on the ears, gaze to the third eye, performing Kubalasana, visualize camel in your inner space.
आसन को गुणपीति जायी.
Drop the back hand at the back, hold the chin, gaze to the third eye, Matsendrasana 2.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं छत्रप्रदीप्तं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम्.
And twist your body. Now with right leg on the opposite thigh, raise the left knee, twist on the left side, right elbow on the left knee, gaze to the third eye as you visualize Matsendra Nath in your inner space, performing Matsendra Asana on the other side.
उदरं पश्चिमाभासं कृत्वा तिष्ठति यत्नतः.
The next asana is Kubasana. As you hold the left toe with the right hand in Prana Mudra, bring the left hand close on the ears, gaze to the third eye, visualize camel in your space.
आसन को गुणजोलो जाये.
Drop the left hand on the ground, touch the chin with the right hand, gaze to the third eye as you perform Matsendrasana 2.
मत्स्येन्द्रपीठं छत्रप्रदीप्तं प्रचण्डरुक्मण्डलकण्डनास्त्रम्.
Now untwist your body. The next asana is Padmasana. As you bring the legs in Padmasana, gaze to the nose, hands on the respective knees. Visualize Lord Shiva in your space as you perform Siddhikari Pranayama and Mahamudra Bandha in all the three bandhas in Mahamudra Bandha.
आसनं द्विविधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
Now release all the three bandhas. Next asana is Padmasana 2. Hands in Prana Mudra, hold to the opposite big toes. Gaze to the nose as you visualize yourself as Goddess Parvati, consort of Shiva, performing Sitali Pranayama.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा ऊरुसंस्थौ प्रयत्नतः.
Now the next asana is Kukutasana. From the Padmasana, bring both the hands between the thigh and the calves. Now with the hands on the ground, lift the body off the ground. Visualize rooster in your space as you perform Kukutasana in Sahaja Samādhi.
पद्मासनं सुसंस्थाप्य नानोर्वोरन्तरे करौ.
Now lower the body down. The next asana is Padmakekiyasana with legs in Padmasana, hands forward on the ground, fingers facing towards the body. Now elbows side of the navels as you lift the leg off the ground. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
धरामाष्टभ्यकरत्वयेन तत्पुरप्रीस्थानीय पाश्विता स्वः.
The next asana is Mayurasana. Now with the hands on the ground, palms facing towards the body, elbows towards the navel. Lift the leg off the ground. Visualize peacock in your space as you perform Mayurasana.
अथ वक्षे महादेव मयूरासनमुत्तमं भूमौ निपात्य हस्तौ द्वौ कूर्परि देहकम्.
Now relax. As you lower your body down, we'll be performing Makarasana. Interlace the fingers at the back, feet open sidewise, performing Makarasana. Visualize crocodile in your inner space.
अध्याससेते हृदयं निधाय भूमौ च पादौ च प्रसार्यमाणौ.
Now place both the hands side of the shoulders, toes facing back. Now we'll be lifting the leg and thigh off the ground as you visualize lobster in your inner space, performing Salabhasana. We'll visualize
अध्याससेते करयुग्मं वक्षो भूमिमवष्टभ्य करतलयोस्तलाभ्याम्.
drop the legs on the ground. The next asana is Ustrasana. Now hold the respective leg with the respective hand. Now bring the legs towards the ground from the side of the hips. Visualize camel in your space as you perform Ustrasana.
अध्याससेते पदयुग्मं वक्षं पृष्ठे निधाप्य निद्धितं कराभ्याम्.
The next asana is Dhanurasana. Hold on to the respective feet with the respective hand. As you gaze to the third eye, lift the chest and leg up. Visualize Lord Shiva's bow in your space as you perform Dhanurasana.
प्रसार्य पादौ भुविदण्डरूपौ करे च पृष्ठे तत्पादयुग्मम्.
Now the next asana is Bhagasana. As you sit in Bhagasana with hands on the respective knees, gaze to the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उल्टा मोड़ी बाव दो वैसे बहरो जगदी करे एक वैसे.
The next asana is Gohi Asana. Now bring the hands shoulder width apart, hands interlaced. Hold the head with the hands as you lift the legs off the ground. Touch the knees to the chest. Try to bring the chin to the knees. Visualize Swamiji in your space.
दो हाथ की कहुनी जोई पुनः कराने जाने दोनी.
From the same position, lift the legs vertically up, performing Sirsasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विदैव विदितं हिनः.
Now lower your body down as you bring the legs extended forward. The next asana is Phodiyasana, and we are entering into the new pranayama, which is Bhatsika Pranayama. Now hold the calves with the respective hand. Raise the legs vertically up as you bring the head to the knees. The japa is Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham as you perform. Visualize Swamiji in your space performing Bhatsika Pranayama.
दो हाथ पका बाहर आने गोड़ा तले कांक सीटाने.
Now relax. The next asana is Parighasana. Now bring the legs at 45 degree. Hands behind the head touching the opposite shoulders. Gaze to the third eye. Visualize maze in your space as you perform Bhastrika Pranayama.
उत्तानं शयनं कृत्वा पादौ मिलित्वा प्रसार्य.
Relax. The next asana is Navakasana. Now again bring the legs at 45 degree. Hands parallel to. Relax. The next asana is Rudrasana. With soles of the feet together, hands underneath holding the feet. Bring the soles of feet to the chest. Gaze to the nose as you bring the throat, resting it on the toes. Visualize Lord Rudra in your space as you keep continuing Bhastrika Pranayama.
पगतले संपुट करे हाथस्य पगा ऊंचा पगा की.
Now with soles of the feet on the ground, knee raised, we'll be performing Unmukh Pitasana 2 as you lower the body down. Now hands behind the heel, lift the hip high, gaze to the nose as you perform Murabandha and Jalandhar.
ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवित्वोद्वमुखं तथा उत्ताप्य हस्तौ तिष्ठेतु पीठ उन्मुखनामके.
Now lower your body down on the ground, hands, feet apart. Now we'll be performing Jiva Chalaka Kumbhaka. Now inhale, visualize, mentally force the air across the whole body. Visualize Swamiji in your space as we perform Savasana.
अथ शवासनम् उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं शान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Sorry for the technical glitch. I hope we are visible and audible to everyone now. Let us continue with the next asana of the sequence, which is Kalyanasana. Now, raise your knees up and bring your arms underneath the legs as you interlock your fingers behind your back in Parashva Mudra, gazing to the tip of your nose and visualizing yourself as a beautiful, auspicious goddess in Kalyanasana.
दो हाथ पगम बीच आने तिनको गोड़ा नीचे ठाने.
Next up is Sankatasana. Now stack your knees and place the top of the left foot flat on the mat, sitting with your perineum on the left heel, with the right foot by the left hip. Place your hands on opposite knees. Gaze outwards without focusing on any external objects in Vaishnavi Mudra, while visualizing yourself as an elegant swan.
वामपादं चितेर मूलं संन्यस्य धरणीतले.
Next up is Dhenukasana. Now slide the left heel outside the hip. Place your hands on top of both knees. As you visualize a cow in your inner space, breathe in Ujjayi Pranayama, making an ocean-like sound with your mouth as you engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha.
अनुषागीनगर पंचडं वृषीलिन्दगल्यम्नि.
Next up is Machandrasana. Now place the right foot on the left thigh and the left foot on the right knee. Bring your left hand behind your back, twisting your spine, holding on to opposite thighs with your hands, and gazing to your third eye as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
वामजंगभरदक्षिणटाने वामहस्तपिष्ठीति स आने.
Next up is Machandrasana 2. Untwist your spine, hold onto the big toes in Prana Mudra as you lean forward and down, placing your forehead on the mat. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथमजी मनो चरणजोयी वामजंगभरिराखे सोयी.
The next asana is Guru Asana. Maintaining the same sitting posture, interlock your fingers and place them on the top knee. Engage all three bandhas Mahamudra Bandha as you visualize Swamiji, your Guru, in your inner space.
ऊरुमूलेतरपादस्य कनिष्ठिका प्रदेशगुल्फं संस्थाप्य.
Now untwist your legs and place the top of the right foot on the mat as you stack the left knee over top, sitting on the right heel, hands on opposite knees, visualizing a swan and Sankatasana on the other side.
वामपादं चितेर्मूलं सन्न्यस्य धरणीतले पाददण्डेन याम्येन वेष्टयेत् वामपादकम्.
Slide the right heel outside the hip. Place your hands on the top knee. Visualize a cow and engage Uddiyana Bandha and Mula Bandha in Dhenukasana on the other side.
वामजङ्घपरदक्षिणटाने वामहस्तपिष्ठीति सआने.
Now repeat Machandrasana on the other side. Place the left foot on the right thigh and the right foot on the left knee. Bring the right hand behind, hold onto opposite thighs and twist your spine as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji.
प्रथमजी मनोचरणजोजी वामजङ्घपरिराखे सोजी.
Untwist your spine, hold onto the big toes and lean forward and down in Machandrasana 2 on the other side.
प्रथमजी मनोचरणजोजी वामजङ्घपरिराखे सोजी.
Now interlock your fingers, place them on the top knee, engage all three bandhas and visualize Swamiji, your Guru, in Guru Asana.
ऊरुमूलेतरपादस्य कनिष्ठिका प्रदेशगुल्फं संस्थाप्य.
The next asana is Parshasana. Now place your feet flat on the ground and lift your knees to the chest as you hold onto opposite knees with your hands, pulling them close. Bring your tongue up in Kechari Mudra, leading the tongue up along the nasal tract if you can, as you gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पादतले भूमौ निधाय जाननिवृत्ति निधाय.
Next up is Bodha Shukasana. From the same position, hold onto opposite wrists, pull the knees close, place your chin on the knee as you gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पगतली भूपरिधरे कोरमा हिलिये से करे.
Next up is Kudakatasana. Now bring your hands underneath the knees and hold on to opposite elbows, pulling your knees close to the chest as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji.
दो हाथ पग बाहर ल्यावे गोड़ा नीचे ले टहरावे.
Next up is Sumati Asana. As you maintain the hold underneath the knees, gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize the great sage Valmiki, Sumati, the Maharishi Sumati, as you bring the heel of the right foot over top of the left with the toes pointing up in Sumati Asana.
मूलद्वारी धरती परिठाने डावा पग परिदच पद आने.
The next asana is Dandasana. Now stretch your legs out in front and interlock your fingers as you raise your hands up high with the wrists pointing outwards. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Engage all three bandhas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु.
Now sit with your legs extended. Hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra as you lean forward and down. Bring your chest down, head to the knees and start performing Nadi Shodhana, inhaling through one nostril and exhaling through the other alternatingly without the support of your hands. Gaze to your nose as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो पग मिलिबा पसारी पगा का अंगूठा पकड़ी लीला टकोड़ा लगावे.
Next up is Pidokasana. As you sit with your legs straight, extend the knees slightly up and bring your arms underneath the knees, holding on to the feet from the outside. Now gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम बैसी दो पाव पसारी कुछ को उर्द को कुरडो डारे.
The next asana is Jalandhari Pavasana. As you keep your legs extended, the soles of the feet together, bring your hands underneath the shins and your chin on the heels. As you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो वेड़ में लिखे दीजिए हाथ पसारी.
Next up is Urdhva Paschimottanasana. With your legs extended, bring one leg over top of the shoulder and behind your neck. Then lean forward and down and hold onto the front foot with both hands. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, perform Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Visualize the prana flowing up through 9 points of the body, starting from the soles of the feet to the regenerative organ, to the navel, to the heart, to the throat, to the palate of the mouth, the center of the eyebrows, the top of the forehead, and the crown center. This is Pratyahara Kumbhaka. Engage Mula Bandha and internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
पश्चिमतानवत्सं स्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्.
We move on to Anantasana. With your legs still behind your neck, lean backwards, lay flat. As you hold on to the foot behind your head with the opposite hand. Gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize your infinite, endless, eternal.
उत्तानशयनी एकैकं पायि ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य.
Next up is Ankushasana. From the same position, roll onto the side of the hand, holding onto the foot. Rest on the side of your body as you gaze to the nose and feel in complete control.
उत्तानशयित एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन्.
Next up is Tridushasana. Lay flat on your back and then pull your knees towards your chest, encircling them with your hands, rocking your body from side to side, relaxing your spine and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानशयनं जानुनी हृदयवष्टम्भ.
Next up is Urdhva Paschimottanasana on the other side. Now lift the other leg behind your neck. Lean forward and down, hold onto the front foot. Visualize Swamiji. Keep performing the Pratyahara Kumbhaka.
पश्चिमतानवत्सं स्थितिं कृत्वा एकं पादं ग्रीवायां धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्.
Now repeat Anantasana on the other side, holding onto the foot behind your neck and leaning back as you visualize yourself as unending.
उत्तानशयनी एकैकं पायि ग्रीवायां विन्यस्य.
Now roll onto the side of the hand, holding onto the foot. Gaze to your nose and feel in complete control in Ankushasana on the other side.
उत्तानशयित एकैकं पादं ग्रीवायां कुर्वन्.
The next asana is Yoga Nidrasana. As you lay on your back, one by one, lift your feet up behind your neck. If you can't bring them behind your neck, you can lift them over your shoulder or cross them in front and pull them towards you to open up your hips. Gaze towards your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पादाभ्यां वेष्टयेत् कंठं हस्ताभ्यां पृष्ठबन्धनम्.
The next asana is Atmaramasana. With your legs raised towards the head, wrap your hands around the legs and interlace your fingers behind your neck as you gaze to your nose and visualize Lord Vishnu blessing you from within.
Atma Rama Asana Pratamaso Dhosove.
Next up is Kochikasana. As you lay on your back, lift your knees up towards your chest with the soles facing upwards as you extend your arms out to the side at shoulder level. Now gaze to your third eye and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दो हाथ सीधा सा करे तिनसो बेसपा करे.
Next up is Jatara Parivritti. This asana consists of 3 steps. We are going to perform all 3 steps and then repeat them on the other side. First, let us enter in neutral position, which is Kochikasana, where you pull your knees to the chest and extend the arms out to the side. Then drop one knee to the side and extend the opposite leg down. This is the first step. Then bend both knees to the side. This is the second step. And then extend both legs to the side, hold onto the feet and gaze in the opposite direction as you visualize Swamiji. Form the Mula Bandhan and then return to the neutral position. Drop the other knee to the side, extend the opposite leg down, bend both knees to the side, and now extend them as you gaze away from the feet.
परिवृत्ति कोक्षे भागे त्रिदाहि परिकीर्तितः बद्धकोणं सुप्तकोणं ऊर्ध्वकोणम् अथापि च.
The next asana is Dviparapitam. As you lay on your back, place your feet flat on the mat and then lift your hips up high as you hold onto your ankles. Gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize yourself as sturdy as a bridge as you start breathing in Murcha Kumbhaka, engaging Jalandharavandha while exhaling, forcefully pushing the air through the throat lock.
प्रतिक्रियायुतं द्वन्द्वपीठ सर्वबलप्रदम्.
The next asana is Paryankasana. Laying on your back with your feet flat, bring your hands over top of your shoulders, fingers pointing towards your feet as you lift your entire body off the mat. Push your hips up high as you visualize yourself as sturdy as stone furniture. Breathe calmly through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka.
उत्तानशयनं हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिं वष्टभ्याम्.
Next up is Shvottanasana. Laying on your back, lift your knees up towards your chest and place your hands on the respective shoulders as you move your hips round and round in a circular motion. Visualize yourself as a dog playfully rolling around on its back.
शरीरं संस्थाप्य जानुनी सम्मील्य नाभुवानीज.
The next asana is Viparita Karani. As you lay on your back, lift your hips up high and keep your arms flat on the mat for stabilization as you move your legs in a circle. Mula Bandha engaged.
भूतले सुशिरो दत्त्वा खेनये चरणद्वयम्.
Now from that position, stop the movement of the legs in Viparita Karani 2 as you keep visualizing Swamiji.
करणी विपरीताख्या सर्वाधिव्याधिनाशिनी.
Next up is Langalasana. As you lay on your back, lift your hips up and bring your feet over top of your head, interlocking your fingers behind your back, flat on the mat in Paramashivoham, visualizing yourself as a plow.
नरकासने स्थित्वा नासिकाप्रदेशे भूमौ पादपृष्ठे स्थाप्य.
Next up is Shaita Paschimottanasana. As you lay on your back in this position, hold on to your feet above your head, keeping your arms and legs straight. This is one of the 84 asanas revealed directly by Lord Paramashiva himself.
तानं शयित्वात् कुर्वीत शयितपश्चिमतानकम्.
Next up is Supta Konasana. From the same position, bring your hips over the shoulders and then open your legs wide. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep holding onto your feet.
परिवृत्ति कुक्षि भागे त्रिदाहि परिकीर्तितः.
The next asana is Chakrasana. Join the feet again together above the head. Hold onto your ankles and then roll onto your back, keeping your arms and legs straight as you visualize yourself as a wheel, a chakra.
शवासनस्तद्वौ पादौ कुर्यान्मस्तकतः परौ.
The next asana is Supta Prasarita Paramishtasana. As you lay on your back, straighten your legs up at a 90-degree angle and hold on to the big toes and Prana Mudra. Then open your legs wide to the side as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Next up is Supta Parangushtasana. As you just join the feet together above the body, holding onto the big toes from the previous position, visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
The next asana is Matsyasana. From Supta Parangushtasana, cross your legs into Padmasana and lay down flat on your back as you hold on to opposite elbows above your head. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Lord Vishnu.
मुक्तपद्मासनं कृत्वा उत्तानशयनं चरेत्.
Next up is Parasharamasana. From the same position, place the back side of the right hand onto the left above your head. Rest in Padmasana on your back as you gaze to your nose and visualize Lord Rama in your inner space.
प्रथम करे पद्मासन आचे सुधो सोवे भूपरि पाछे.
Next up is Sarvangasana. With your legs in Padmasana, laying on your back, raise your legs and then your hips, supporting your lower back with your hands in an inverted posture in Padmasana as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
अथ वक्षेत्र संक्षेपात् सर्वांगासनम् उत्तमम्.
Next up is Vrishchikasana. As you lay on your back, place one foot on the opposite thigh and pull the opposite knee towards your chest as you straighten your arms out above your head, hooking the hands forward like the horn of a scorpion as you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a scorpion.
प्रथमशेन सुधो शीर्षकेशिकी सन्धि सुदाखे.
Now repeat Vrishchikasana on the other side by placing the other foot on the opposite thigh, pulling it to the chest.
प्रथमशेन सुधो शीर्षकेशिकी सन्धि सुदाखे.
The next asana is Vrishaparakshipasana. Now interlock your fingers around your neck in Parashu Mudra as you alternatingly lift your legs towards your chest one by one, keeping the legs above the ground as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space and breathe calmly in Sahaja Kumbhaka.
उत्थानशयनं कृत्वा अङ्गुलिभिः कन्दरां बद्ध्वा.
The next asana is Maruttanasana. As you lay on your back, place your hands next to the hips and lift your knees one by one, touching the ears alternatingly. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep breathing calmly through your nose.
श्रोतानवत् संस्थितिः कृत्वा चानुद्वयं पर्यायेन कर्णयोः संस्पृशेत्.
The next asana is Vrikasana. As you lay on your back, place your feet flat and then stand up and sit back down again and again as you visualize yourself as a wolf.
अथ उत्थानशयनं कृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा.
The next asana is Luthasana. As you lay on your back, quickly throw your legs up above your head and completely roll over again and again. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and finally end in a prone position laying on your stomach.
उत्थानशयनं पादोशिरौ उल्लङ्घ्य.
From the prone position, place your hands next to the shoulders, flat on the mat, as you contract your lips, making a whistling sound like the sound of a flute while inhaling. As you visualize yourself as a chariot carrying warriors into a battle for Dharma on your chariot back in Saladhasana.
युज्यं शयनं कृत्वा नाभिं भूमौ निधाय.
The next asana is Dehalyulanganasana. As you push your body up into a plank position, alternate jumping your feet in between the hands, back and forth, visualizing yourself transcending body and mind.
हस्तद्वयं बद्ध्वा तन्मध्ये चरणद्वयम् उड्डानैव बहिरानीय.
Next up is Jatyasana. As you stand on the mat, lean forward and down, placing your hands flat on the ground and walking back and forth on all fours as you visualize yourself as a wise 60-year-old elephant.
अथ जात्यासनं वक्षे येन जातिस्मरो भवेत्.
Next up is Lolitika Karana. Now stand with the knees bent and the feet pointing outwards. Bend your elbows and keep your hands at the chest level as you rotate your arms around the body and lean back to move your head in all directions. The next asana is Sarapasana. As you stand straight on the mat, keep your hands on the hips, elbows close to the body, feet together, and visualize your Kundalini Devi raising and curling upwards around your body. As you breathe calmly through the nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka. If you have, tie your feet with a rope tightly.
अथ सर्पासनं वक्षे वायुपाणाय केवलम्.
The next asana is Ushtra Sadhanasana. As you stand on the mat, lean forward and down, holding on to the toes with your hands, stepping your feet on top of the fingers. Now, walk around on the mat as you visualize yourself as a camel.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठका प्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरि पादतले संस्थाप्य.
Next up is Ashvasana. From the same position, hold onto the feet from the outside. Step on your fingers and walk around on the mat, visualizing yourself as a horse.
मुष्टिकनिष्ठका प्रदेशेन भूमौ निधाय उपरि पादतले संस्थाप्य.
Next up is Kapota Nitakasana. Now interlock your fingers behind your body and pull your hands down, towards the calves as you open up your chest. Lean backwards as you visualize yourself as a soaring bird diving.
पादतले भूमौ निधाय पृष्ठभागेन हस्तो जङ्घापर्यन्तं नीत्वा.
Next up is the Tala Pushpaputam Karana. As you stand tall with the palms together, Namaskara Mudra, gently bend the knees and keep the toes pointing outwards as you simultaneously open up the palms, raise one heel, slightly lower the waist and shoulder of the respective heel as you visualize yourself holding a bouquet of flowers and offering it to Paramashiva. Next up is Khadgasana. As you visualize yourself as a rhinoceros, gaze to the tip of the nose and then lay down on your stomach, jump your feet up towards your hand, stand back up and bring your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front, resembling the horn of the rhinoceros.
आसनं कृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिं धृत्वा.
Next up is the Uttanottanam. You can use weights to intensify this asana. As you sit down all the way or as low as you can towards the ground and then stand back up again and again. Gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पुनः पुनः उत्थातव्यं स्थितव्यम् इति उत्थानोत्थानं भवति.
Next up is Musalasana. From a standing position, raise your hands above your head and jump repeatedly as you visualize yourself as a mace.
सरलं स्थित्वा ऊर्ध्वं बाहु नयेत्.
Next up is Ucheshakasana. As you stand, pull one foot towards your chest and then sit down with the other leg and stand back up, alternating the legs on both sides again and again as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
एकैकं पादतलं कुक्षौ निधाय तिष्ठेदुच्छीर्षकं भवति.
Next up is Parashvajanukarana. Now stand and keep one leg slightly bent with the toes pointing to the side as you bend and lift the opposite knee, encircling it with a respective hand in a fist as you place the opposite hand onto the thigh with the fingers pointing inwards. We move on to Tandavasana. As you stand on the mat, extend one leg and both arms forward, then sit down and stand back up as you visualize yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva, holding weights if you want to intensify this asana.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति.
The next asana is Brahmanasana. As you place the left foot on the inner opposite thigh and stand erect on the mat like a rod, keep your hands by the sides as you visualize Lord Brahma blessing you from within in Brahmanasana.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्षे यत्कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत्.
Next up is Garudasana 3. As you stand tall, wrap the left leg over and around the right knee, bringing the left toes on the opposite side of the right thigh. Bring the left arm underneath the right and join your hands in Namaskara Mudra as you visualize yourself as Lord Garuda.
उत्थानकूर्मपीठं च संहस्कारुणमेव च.
Next up is Ekapadasana. With the left foot on the right thigh, keep your hands relaxed by the side and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दक्षाङ्घ्रिं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरि निधाय च.
The next asana is Dhruvasana, the pole-star posture. As you stand on the right leg, hold on to the left big toe in Prana Mudra. Extend the leg out to the side and start rotating quickly on the standing leg, visualizing yourself at the north as the North Pole Star.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्य अग्रं धृत्वा.
Next up is Trivikramasana. As you stand on the right leg, lift the left foot behind your neck and stand tall. Visualize Lord Vishnu blessing you from within as you sit down and stand back up, performing the 3 steps of Lord Vishnu.
ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
Next up is Parshvajanukarana. On the other side, now lift the other knee towards your chest and circle with the hand in a fist, opposite hand on the thigh with the fingers pointing inwards. Next up is Tandavasana on the other side. Again, hold weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you visualize yourself fiercely dancing as Lord Shiva, extend the opposite leg forward and sit down and stand back up.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति.
Now repeat Brahmanasana on the other side, with the right foot on the inner opposite thigh of the left leg, hands relaxed by the side. Visualize Lord Brahma blessing you from within.
ब्राह्मणासनमावक्ष्य यत्कृत्वा ब्राह्मणो भवेत्.
Next up is Garudasana 3. On the other side, now bring the right foot over top and behind of the left leg as you bring the right arm underneath the left, hands in Namaskara Mudra, visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda.
उत्थानकूर्मपीठं च सिंहस्गारुडमेव च.
The next asana is Ekapadasana on the other side. Keep the right foot on the left thigh, hands relaxed by the side as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
दक्षाङ्घ्रिं वामपादस्य जङ्घोपरि निधाय च.
Now repeat Dhruvasana, the pole star posture on the other side. Rotate as you visualize yourself as a North Pole Star.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्य अग्रं धृत्वा.
Now repeat Trivikramasana on the other side. Bring the other leg behind your neck. And then sit down and stand back up while visualizing Lord Vishnu.
ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
And next up is Samanakakarana. Stand with your feet close together and the toes pointing slightly outwards, with your hands relaxed by the sides, fingers pointing one by one. As you breathe calmly in this position. We enter the final 100 asanas of the sequence with the first asana, Gorak Anjali Asana. Now, stand erect and then bend forward. Bring your hands underneath the knees and make a finger lock in Parashu Mudra as you sit down in a squatting position and let the finger lock touch your navel. Visualize the great sage Goraknath, the founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya, as you start breathing in Jiva Chala Kumbhaka. Inhaling deeply, holding your breath, and then moving the prana up and down and through your limbs by the force of your will.
प्रथमहि बहुये बाहुरी नीचो पुनिहोवे.
Next up is Kanchi Asana. As you insert your hands between the thighs and calves and then wrap them around behind your butt, squat down and hold your hands behind, keeping your chest upright as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
ऊरुमध्याधस्थो निवेशयानितं धृत्वा.
Next up is Bhairasana. As you bring your feet together and sit in a squatting posture with your heels touching the perineum, hold your hands at the back in Parashamudra, sit upright, gaze to the navel, and visualize Bhagavan Kala Bhairava, the Lord of Time.
दोबू पग की थलिया की माहिली को और मिलाई.
Next up is Varahasana. As you squat all the way down to the ground, keep your feet together and the toes apart. Bring your elbows up close to your head as you join your hands in Anjali Mudra behind your head, fingers pointing downwards. Gaze to the tip of your nose as you visualize yourself as Varaha, the boar avatar of Lord Vishnu.
पाकतली की माहिली को और मिलाई फना पानी उकड़ मोड़ वैसे.
Next up is Pruppitasana. With your heels touching, hold on to the big toes and raise your hips to the same level as your knees. Now, visualize Swamiji in your inner space and perform the Mula Bandha.
पाशे द्वय सम्मील्य स्थित्वा नितम्बं जानु प्रदेश आनीजा.
The next asana is Bakasana. As you place your hands on the mat, shoulder width apart, bring your knees onto your arms, and then lean forward, find balance, and lift your feet off the mat as you visualize yourself as a crow.
हस्ताभ्यां मौनिमवष्टभ्यां.
The next asana is Sushtanga Kapali Asana. With your hands flat on the mat, kneel down, place your head on the ground. With your palms spread for support, raise your body onto your head and keep your legs in Padmasana. Now gaze to the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
आसन को गुण का पला आछो होई.
Now come to a kneeling posture. Sit in between the heels with the toes touching behind your body. Place your hands on the thighs, gaze to the nose, and visualize you are sitting in the secret seat with Paramashiva and Guru in Guptasana.
जानूर्वोरन्तरे पादौ कृत्वा पादौ च गोपयेत्.
The next asana is Vrikshasana 2. With your hands on the ground, the fingers wide, lift your body up straight into a handstand. This asana should be practiced to purify the 7 chakras. Use a wall for support or ask a partner to aid you in this asana. As you visualize yourself as a tree with deep roots growing into the ground.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासन विशेषकान्.
Next up is Shiva Asana. From the same position, the handstand posture, gaze to your third eye and visualize tejas flowing to your third eye, rejuvenating your body, bringing the divine radiance to your being.
दो पग जोड़ी माही गुल्फ मिलाए.
Gently lower your body down. Now come to a plank position with your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart. Lower your body down and push it back up again and again as you visualize yourself as a fish in Matsyasana 2.
निर्जं शयनं कुर्वरो पार्श्वभागायाम् ऊर्ध्वकृत्या.
Lower your body down onto the mat. Keep your hands on your hips as you raise your upper body from left to right again and again, visualizing and moving your body like a snake in Sarapasana 2.
निब्जं शयनं कृत्वा हस्तौ नितम्बं संस्थाप्य.
Next up is Niralambanasana. As you lay prone on your belly, keep your hands in Padma Mudra, the Lotus Mudra, and rest your chin on the hands as you Feel self-supported and completely independent.
कराभ्यां पङ्कजं कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् कूर्परया सुधीमुखमुन्नमनुच्छाय निरालम्बनमासनम्.
Next up is Chakrasana. As you lay on your stomach, straighten your arms and bend your knees to bring your feet up towards your upper back. Gaze upwards as you visualize yourself as an umbrella protecting your guru from the sun rays.
अर्ध्यासनमस्थित्वा हस्तदलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टभ्यमुन्यात् चित्रासनं भवति.
The next asana is Vajrasana. Sitting in a kneeling position with your feet flat, rest your perineum on the heels and lean forward and down as you place your hands flat on the mat in front and your forehead down on the ground as well. Gaze towards your nose and visualize yourself as Vajra, the weapon of Indra, symbolizing your indestructibility.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लगगो सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तने पति.
Next up is Meshasana. Now push your hips up into Gajasana and alternate striking the ground with your hands as you visualize yourself as powerful as a ram.
गजासन संस्थितौ एकैकं बाहुं भूमौ ताडयेत् मेषासनं भवति.
The next asana is Ajasana. Now, from Gajasana, raise your legs up into a handstand and slowly lower your body down towards the ground as you visualize yourself as unborn, existing for all eternity.
गजासन संस्थितौ पादद्वयं ममतराले कृत्य मस्तकेन भूमिं स्पृष्टा अजासनं भवति.
The next asana is Dhanantarasana. As you sit in a kneeling posture, hold on to the big toes and pull the toes towards your perineum. And then place your hands on the respective knees as you keep your spine straight, gaze towards the tip of your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
पूर्व विधि परिहाता की काकसिथ्यो फणा शरामोडी.
Next up is the Angamottanam. From the same position, interlace your fingers in front and then behind you, moving them left, right, up, down in all directions, giving massage to various different joints and muscles of your body as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
हस्तयोः अङ्गुलीर्बद्ध्वा हस्तयोर्मध्यात्परमङ्गं निष्कासयित्वा.
Next up is Garudasana 4. As you sit on your heels in Vajrasana, turn your feet outwards so the toes point outwards. Keep your thighs and knees resting on the ground, your spine straight with the hands on the knees. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, flying Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi on his back.
जङ्घोरुभ्यां धरां पीड्य स्थिरकायो द्विजानुना.
The next asana is Ananda Mandirasana. As you sit with your legs folded back, the toes pointing backwards and your knees open wide, hold on to your ankles and gaze up to your third eye as you visualize yourself residing in the blissful space of a temple.
अथ वक्षे वीरनाथ आनन्दमन्दिरासनम्.
Next up is Mandukasana 2. As you sit with your knees wide, the feet overlapping on your ankles, place your hands under the knees and gaze towards your nose as you visualize yourself as a frog.
पृष्ठं सम्पीड्य गुल्फाभ्यां जान्वङ्गे सबलयाकृतिः.
Next up is Narasimhasana. As you sit on your heels with the toes tucked, knees wide apart, place your hands on the ground in front of you, stretch your tongue out and exhale forcefully as you gaze to the tip of your nose. Visualize Narasimha, the lion man avatar of Lord Vishnu.
दो फणा पाणी होय वैसे एडी मेलर कुदानी वैसे.
Next up is Pishtakasana. From the same position, place your hands over top of your mouth, covering your nose, as you bring your thumbs below the teeth, and then close your mouth, inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling through your mouth. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Keep performing Bishtaka Kumbhaka as you visualize yourself as Devi, victorious over any and all minuscule fears you might have.
दो बगागी एडी जोई गोड़ा फनोवान पुनी होई.
Next up is Makarasana. As you keep the soles of the feet together with the top of the feet on the ground, sit on the heels and bend your elbows, bringing your fingers towards your armpits as you imitate a monkey stretching itself. Visualize yourself as a playful monkey as you gaze to your third eye and perform the Mula Bandha.
दो बगदले संपुट आने तनिगे पिष्टि भूमि परिटाने.
Next up is Vajrasanghārāsana. Now, stand on your toes with the soles of the feet together, the knees raised off the ground, spread wide apart, and hold on to opposite elbows behind your back. As you gaze to the tip of the nose and embody diamond-like strength for yourself and your Sangha, your spiritual community.
प्रथम पना पाणी होय वैसे दो वो एडी कुदानी वैसे.
Next up is Kanjanasana. As you keep the toes down and the ankles crossed behind and sit on your heels, place your palms on the mat to the sides, gaze to the tip of the nose and visualize perfect health beyond any and all physical or mental ailments.
खञ्जनासनमावक्ष्ये जित्कृत्वा सुस्थिरो भवेत्.
The next asana is Kurmasana. With your toes flat, the feet crossed behind, perineum on the heels. Keep your hands on the knees and make your upper body and neck stiff like the shell of a turtle as you gaze to the nose and visualize a turtle with a stable body and mind living for hundreds of years in Kurmasana.
गुल्फौ च वर्षणस्याधो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितौ ऋजुकाय शिरोग्रीवं कूर्मासनमितीरितम्.
The next asana is Yogasana. From the same position, relax your upper body and neck. Gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
गुदं नियम्य गुल्फाभ्यां व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
Next up is Vijogasana. Now stand on your knees and cross your ankles behind with the feet near the opposite knees. Hold on to your calves with the fingers inside and the thumbs outside. As you gaze to your third eye and visualize a space of eternal oneness, Advaita, with your Guru, Swamiji, in Vijogasana.
गोड़ा वामो बहुई गोड़ा आड़ा राखे दोई.
The next asana is Ushtrasana too. In a kneeling position, bend backwards and hold your ankles with your hands. Keep your arms straight and push your hips forward as you tilt your head back and visualize yourself as a camel.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदाढ्या संविवादैषु पुमान्.
Next up is Jadyasana too. With the heels together, the hands on the soles of the feet, slowly lean back. Bring your elbows down to the mat, followed by the back of your head. Gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a lotus blooming in Jadyasana too.
2 एड़ी संपुट करे 16 मूल द्वारित धरे
The next asana is Virātasana. As you sit on the knees with the thighs and calves together, lean back and touch your back to the ground, then rise back up again and again. Gaze to the tip of your nose. Visualize the healing and liberation of all causal subtle forms of your body as you perform the Mula Bandha.
जंगा पृष्ठि भूमो निधाज्य जंगोदरयोः ऊरुनि संस्थाप्य
The next asana is Kapotasana. From Virātasana, raise your hips higher. Bring your forearms on the mat and hold the back of your heels as you bring your head in between the feet, raising your hip high as you visualize yourself as a beautiful dove.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थि दाढ्या संपिपादयिषु पुमान्.
The next asana is Varasana. Stand upright on your knees with the toes tucked, holding onto your arms with opposite hands. Gaze towards your nose and enter the boon-fulfilling posture. Receive your boon from Paramashiva as you internally chant Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
जानुनि भूमौ संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहुपरस्परं धृत्वा.
The next asana is Varahasana too. As you keep your knees together, the toes tucked, sit on your heels and place your forearms on the ground with your head resting on your hands. Now visualize yourself as a boar, one of the 10 incarnations of Mahavishnu, in Varahasana too.
सूर्यं चन्द्रं भेदनानि आसनानि निकथ्यते.
Next up is Mundasana. Now place your forearms on the ground and interlock your fingers as you place your forehead on the ground, holding onto your head with your hands. Walk your feet forward, raise your hips, and then straighten up your legs into a headstand posture as you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a lopped tree.
अधो मुण्डासनं वक्षे सर्वेषां प्राणिनां सुखम्.
The next asana is Andhasana. After lowering your legs gently, sit in a kneeling position with your feet flat. Bring your head in between the knees and hold onto your head with your hands. Inhale through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka and exhale through your mouth in this asana as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथम पकतले समटहरावे कोरमा उभे मिलावे.
Next up is Viparita Shalabhasana. Lay down on your stomach. Hold the weights if you want to intensify this asana as you straighten your arms out in front and lift your legs and your entire chest and arms off the mat, visualizing yourself as a locust.
शलभासन भेदाश्च नटभेरुण्ड नामके.
The next asana is Kapalasana. Now lie on your belly with your arms by the side, palms facing down. Place your forehead on the ground. Keep your chest on the mat as you lift your legs up. Visualize a skull representing the mind with purified thoughts and a strong will to attain enlightenment in Kapalasana, the skull posture.
कपालं भूमौ निधाय ऊर्ध्वं पादौ नयेत्.
Next up is Akasha Kapotasana. As you lay on your stomach with the hands by the sides, lift your legs up over your head. Raise your hips. Keep your hands on the ground behind you as you touch the ground in front of your head with your toes. Now, visualize yourself as a free and open dove. Try to lift your legs as much as possible.
उष्ट्रासने स्थित्वा चरणौ भूमेरुत्थाप्य मस्तकोपरि नीत्वा.
The next asana is Chatakasana. In a kneeling position, place your forearms on the ground. Be sturdy as you visualize yourself as a sparrow.
कूर्मरपर्यन्तौ हस्तौ धरामोष्टभ्य.
Next up is Vrishikasana too. As you kneel down, with your hands and elbows on the mat, raise your legs and bend your back to touch your feet onto your head. Lift your chin and hold this position as you visualize yourself as a scorpion.
विच्छेव पुच्छ प्रतिमाङ्घ्रिपार्श्वे धृत्वा स्वशीर्षे चिबुकं विधार्यको.
Next up is Vrishasana. Sit with your perineum on the right heel as you keep the left foot outside the hip with the toes pointing outwards. Place your hands in front of the knees and visualize yourself as a bull. Breathe forcefully through your nose, inhaling deeply and then holding your breath for a short while. Afterwards, you slowly exhale through your nose in Antaranga Kumbhaka.
याम्य गुल्फे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरम्.
Next up is Lolasana. From the same position, lift your knees off the mat, balance on your arms as you cross the toes of the left foot over top of the right, maintaining the feet lifted off the mat as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
लोलासनं सदा कुर्यात् वायुलोलापघातनात्.
Now, place your perineum on the left heel with the right foot outside, toes pointing outwards, hands on the mat in front, as you visualize yourself as a bull in Vrishasana on the other side.
याम्य गुल्फे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरम्.
The next asana is Balagunasana. Now, place the toes of the left foot on the ground, sit on the left heel, with the right foot flat in front, hands on the knees, the right knee towards your chest. Now visualize Balaguna High, one of the 84 siddhas in your inner space.
आसन को गुण जल विकार जाई.
Next up is Grahasana. As you squat with the feet flat on the mat, bring your elbows under the thighs and wrap your hands around the shins. Hold onto your ankles from the outside as you visualize yourself as the entire planet.
पादतले भूमौ संस्थाप्य चारुमध्ये कूर्परौ स्थाप्य.
Now repeat Balagunasana on the other side. Sit on the raised right heels. As you keep the left foot flat, knee to the chest, visualizing Balaguna High.
आसन को गुण जल विकार जाई.
Next up is Utkatasana. You can hold weights if you want to intensify this asana. As you squat on your toes, with the heels up and the knees off the mat, place your perineum on the raised heels and your hands on the respective knees. Keep your spine upright as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
युजास्पिजस्तीत ऊर्वजानेतरासने पादतलद्वयोपरि
Next up is Vajrasangarasana 2. With your toes tucked, the soles of the feet together, knees open wide, lifted off the ground, hold onto opposite elbows behind your back. Now visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Keep forcefully inhaling in Antarangaka Kumbhaka.
प्रथम अपना पानी होए जैसे दो वो एड़ी गुदानी वैसे.
Next up is Anilasana. As you squat or sit, with the feet hip width apart, place your hands flat on the ground and step your heels onto your palms. Keep your arms straight. As you gaze to the nose, squat down and visualize you're able to live off of air alone.
दो हाथ भूमि पर टाने कहुनी जाड़ी नाभि लगाने.
Next up is Padukasana. Now, place the back of your hands onto the mat with the fingers facing towards your body. Step your feet onto your hands and wrap the hands around the feet like a shoe. Then start walking around on the mat. Visualize yourself wearing padukas, performing a padayatra, walking all across India in Padukasana.
हस्तत्रयोः पादतले कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् गच्छेत् पादुकासनं भवति.
Next up is Kukkutodanasana. As you place your palms on the mat, raise both feet upwards into the air and then let them fall back down again and again as you visualize yourself as a rooster.
हस्ततले भूमौ कृत्वा पादतले चोर्धुमुड्डानं कृत्वा.
Next up is Viparita Nrityasana. As you place your hands on the mat, raise your legs upwards into a handstand and move around on two hands dancing as you feel yourself become free of all inhibitions.
हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिं वष्टभ्य.
Next up is Kunjarasana. As you separate your feet and place one palm down on the mat, with the arm straight, bring the opposite hand to your head. Be stable as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
हथपक्षे महादेव कुञ्जरासनम् उत्तमम्.
Place the other hand on the mat, opposite hand to the head. Repeat Kunjarasana on the other side.
पार्श्वेभ्यां भूमिं वष्टभ्य हस्तद्वयेन अङ्गुलिभ्यौ धृत्वा.
Next up is Kadambasana. As you sit on the ground with your feet flat and the heels close to your body, hold the respective ankles and lift the feet off the ground as you visualize yourself as a Kadamba tree, a pious tree that promotes a long life.
पार्श्वेभ्यां भूमिं वष्टभ्य हस्तद्वयेन अङ्गुलिभ्यौ धृत्वा.
Next up is Pavana Muktasana. As you sit with your heels at the perineum, hold your knees with your hands and press them against your chest. Keep your feet flat and visualize any excess vata being released from your body or balance within your system as you breathe calmly through your nose in Sahaja Kumbhaka.
ध्वजोस्तु पादयोः पाणिं लात्वा स्वस्वनितम्बके.
The next asana is Chakorasana. As you lift one leg behind your neck, place both hands flat on the mat to the side for balance, and then extend the opposite leg forward and lift your entire body off the mat as you gaze to your third eye and visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादपीठं वज्रासनं तथा.
Next up is Dhanurasana 2. As you sit on the ground, hold on to the big toes in Prana Mudra. Keep one leg straight in front and pull the other foot towards your ear. As you visualize yourself as a bow, breathe calmly through your nose and perform the Mula Bandha.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि.
Next up is Ashtavakrasana. As you lift your left leg over top of the respective shoulder, hook the right foot over top and extend the legs out to the side. As you lean forward and down while extending the legs out to the side, lift your head and chest, find balance and visualize yourself as a flying crane.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यमूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
The next asana is Pranasana. As you place the right foot on the left thigh and bring the left foot flat on the ground, bring your left shoulder underneath, place the hand flat on the mat, and push the right knee down to the mat. Gaze to your third eye and visualize you're immortal and able to exist solely from prana.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य चामरः.
Next up is Parshvamatsindrasana. Now place the right foot to the left hip and step the left foot over top of the right knee. Twist your right elbow outside the raised knee, bring the hand below the knee and hold on to your hands behind your back as you twist your spine. Gaze to your third eye and visualize Sage Matsyendranath, the master of Hatha Yoga.
पार्श्वाभ्यां धृतते यास्तु पार्श्वमत्येन्द्रमुत्तमम्.
Now repeat Chakrasana on the other side by lifting the other leg behind your neck, extending the opposite leg forward, hands down on the mat beside you, lifting your entire body off the ground, gazing to your third eye and visualizing yourself as a powerful source of energy.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादपीठं वज्रासनं तथा.
Now repeat Dhanurasana 2 on the other side. Sit with the other leg extended, hold onto the big toes and pull the opposite foot towards your ear as you visualize yourself as a bow.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि.
Now repeat Ashtavakrasana on the other side. Lift the other leg over top of your shoulder, hook the opposite foot over top and extend the legs out to the side. Lean forward and balance on your arms as you visualize yourself as a flying crane.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यमूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
Now repeat Pranasana on the other side. Place the left foot on the right thigh and bring the right shoulder underneath the raised right knee. Visualize you're immortal and able to exist solely from prana as you gaze to your third eye.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य चामरः.
Now repeat Parshvamatsindrasana with the left foot at the right hip and the right foot over top, twisting your left arm outside of the raised knee and hold on to the hands behind your back if you can. Gaze up towards your third eye and visualize Matsyendranath, the master of Hatha Yoga.
पार्श्वाभ्यां धृतते यास्तु पार्श्वमत्येन्द्रमुत्तमम्.
Next up is Ardha Paschimottanasana. Now keep the right leg extended and press the left heel against the groin as you lean forward and down, as in Paschimottanasana, holding onto the front foot. As you visualize Swamiji in your inner space, perform Jiva Chala Kumbhaka, inhaling deeply, holding your breath, and then moving the prana up and down and through your limbs by the force of your will.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्वेण सीवनि सम्पीड्य.
Next up is Kranchasana. Now bring the left foot outside of the hip. Bring the top of the foot flat on the ground as you hold onto the right foot and extend it up straight in front of your face. Keep your knees straight and visualize yourself as a crane.
उत्थानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकम्.
Now repeat Ardha Paschimottanasana on the other side with the right heel against the perineum, holding onto the front foot.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्वेण सीवनि सम्पीड्य.
Now repeat Kranchasana. Bring the right foot outside of the hip, flat on the ground. Hold onto the left foot and extend it up in front of your face, visualizing yourself as a crane.
उत्थानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गुष्ठप्रसारणे.
The next asana is Swastikasana. Now sit with your feet in between the thighs and calves as you gaze towards your nose. Keep your palms resting on the knees and embody peace, well-being, good fortune, and prosperity. Visualize a swastika as you perform the Mula Bandha.
यत्र जानोर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् कृत्वा पादतले उभे.
Next up is Godakshasana. Keep your feet in the same position, but cover your heels with your hands. Engage Jalandhara Bandha and Mula Bandha. Tuck your chin to the chest and contract the perineal region. As you gaze through your nose and visualize the great sage Godaknath, founder of the Natha Yoga Hindu Sampradaya.
जानोर्वोरन्तरे पादौ उत्थानो व्यक्तसंस्थितौ.
The next asana is Bhagasana 2. Now bring your left heel to the perineum and the right foot on the left thigh. Then get ready. Meditate on Arihanta, the Lord, the Enlightened One. As you gaze to your third eye, visualize Swamiji and prepare yourself to enter into Shanmukhi Mudra. Inhale deeply, then close your mouth with ring and little finger, the nostrils with the middle fingers, the eyes with the index fingers, and the ears with the thumbs.
वामपार्श्वौ गुदं संस्थाप्य दक्षाङ्घ्रिवामजगने.
Next up is Yogasana. Now place your feet onto the opposite knees. Then place your hands on the ground beside you with the palms facing upwards. Keep your spine straight, gaze towards your nose, visualize Swamiji, and start performing the Kakachantra Kumbhaka, rolling up your tongue and pushing it out of the mouth without touching the teeth. Inhale through the rolled up tongue and exhale through the nose.
उत्थानौ चरणौ कृत्वा संस्थाप्योपरि जानुनोः.
Next up is Urdhva Kukkutasana. Rotate your hands at the side of your body and lift up your body as you sit in Padmasana. Visualize yourself as a rooster. Keep breathing in Kakachantra Kumbhaka.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च.
Next up is Siddhaharatali Asana. Sitting in Padmasana, bring your hands in between the legs. Palms flat on the mat. Don't lift your body up. Stay seated on the mat. Gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji.
वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यमूर्धकुक्कुटमेव च.
From this position, now lift your body off the mat in Hamsasana. Gaze to the nose and visualize yourself as an elegant swan.
आसनं द्विधं प्रोक्तं पद्मं वज्रासनं तथा.
Next up is Karmukasana. From Padmasana, bring your hands between the thighs and calves. While sitting, reach your hands behind the body, interlace the fingers in Parasha Mudra. As you bring your forehead to the floor, gaze to your nose, and visualize yourself as Lord Shiva's bowl.
प्रथम पद्म आसन को करे गोड़ासन दिमाही कर इधरे.
Next up is Kurmasana 2. From Padmasana, insert both hands through the thighs and calves, bend your elbows and hold onto the respective shoulders with your hands. Visualize yourself as a turtle having a stable body and mind to live for hundreds of years.
बाई जंग पर दक्षिण पावा दाई जंग पर बाई ल्यावा.
Next up is Grandhi Bhedasana. From the same position, tuck your chin to the chest in Chalandalavanda. Gaze to the nose and rejoice, knowing you're sitting in Shiva's secret knot posture.
अथ पक्षे नीलकण्ठः ग्रन्थि भेदासनं शुभम्.
From the same position, roll onto your back, hold onto your shoulders, as you gaze to the nose and embody a turtle laying on its back in Uttana Kurmasana.
कुक्कुटासनबन्धस्थं कराभ्यां धृतकन्धरम्.
Now sit back up in Padmasana. As you bring your hands in between the legs, place one palm flat on the mat and hold its wrist. As you lift your body up on one arm, visualizing yourself as a rooster in Pangu Kukkutasana.
कुक्कुटासनस्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा.
Now place the other hand on the mat. Lift your body up. Repeat Pangu Kukkutasana on the other side.
कुक्कुटासनस्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा.
Next up is Gridasana. From Padmasana, place your elbows on the toes and interlace your fingers. As you rest your chin on the knuckles, press your thumbs to the throat and visualize you have gone beyond all greed and covetous.
जानोर्भवन्तरे पादौ उत्तानो व्यक्तसंस्थितौ.
Next up is Padmasana 3. From Padmasana, hold one hand over the other with the palms facing upwards. Keep your spine straight, gaze to the nose, engage all three bandhas as you visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
उत्तानो चरणो विधाय विधिवत् शक्तिस्थितो योगिरात्.
Next up is Padmasana 4. Now place your hands on the respective knees. Gaze to the nose, visualize Paramashivam in your inner space as you perform the Mula Bandha.
एतत् पद्मासनं कुर्यात् प्राणवायु प्रसिद्धये.
Next up is Karmukasana 2. From Padmasana, keep one hand on the respective knee and hook the other hand around the respective big toe in Prana Mudra. Move the big toe round and round as you visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bowl. Then repeat the movement on the other side.
अथान्यासनमावक्ष्ये योगपूरकरक्षणात्.
Next up is Karmukasana 3. From Padmasana, cross your arms behind your back and hold on to the opposite big toes. As you gaze towards your nose, engage all three bandhas, visualize yourself as Pinaka, Lord Shiva's bowl, and keep breathing in Kakachantra Kumbhaka, inhaling through the rolled up tongue.
कार्मुकासनमाक्षित्य उदरे पूरयेत् सुखम्.
Next up is Tridhasana. From the same position, lift your chest up, gaze to your third eye, and visualize yourself to be the action of Paramashiva's third eye, destroying anything you come across.
ऊरुभ्यामुपरि स्थाप्य पादयुग्मं प्रयत्नतः
From that position, roll onto your back. Keep holding onto the toes if you can. Lay on your back in Padmasana as you gaze to your nose and visualize yourself as a snake in Nagarasana.
प्रथम पद्मासन को ठाने दो वो हाथ पाछाने आने.
Next up is Kandukasana. Free your legs and arms. Pull your knees towards your chest and circle them with your hands as you squeeze your body into a ball. Breathe calmly in Sahaja Kumbhaka.
वेत्रासने स्थित्वा हस्तपादानि निष्कुष्य.
Next up is Urdhva Pavanasana. Place your feet flat on the mat with the knees raised and interlock your fingers behind your back, behind your head, as you gaze to your nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
प्रथमे सूधो सही न करावे घोड़ा उभा राशि मिलावे.
Now place your upturned palms underneath your heels and push your hips up as you perform Jalangadabandha and Mudabandha, and visualize yourself as a powerful alpha ape in Marakata Pitasana.
उत्तानशयनं पादतले उत्तानहस्तयोः स्थापयेत्.
Next up is Uttana Shikipitakasana. As you bring your hands to the hips, raise your hips up and stretch your legs out as you gaze to the nose and visualize Swamiji in your inner space.
जङ्घोरुबलहीनश्चेत् उत्तानशिखिपीठकम्.
Now raise your legs up straight and then place your arms flat on the mat for balance. In Narakasana, visualizing yourself blissfully traversing through Narakaloka unscathed.
ग्रीवाकण्ठेन भूमिं विष्टम्भ.
Next up is Tiranaukasana. Bring your hands to the lower back and slowly lower and angle your legs, keeping your core engaged as you visualize yourself as a boat crossing the ocean of samsara in Tiranaukasana.
नौकावत् स्थित्वात् ऊर्ध्वं पादाग्रद्वयं नजेत्.
Next up is Dajasana. Now bring your hands back to the ground, your legs straight like a flagpole as you visualize yourself as the Kailasa flag, respected across all nations.
तिर्यन्नौकावते ग्रीवापृष्ठकूर्परैः भूमिं वष्टभ्य.
Now lower your body down flat on the mat. Keep your hands by the sides. Engage the Chakti Chalan Mudra, forcefully pulling the Kundalini Shakti up along your spine as you visualize your body is dead and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji, is liberating you. Internally chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham in Mritasana.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं. शवासनं श्रमहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
Slowly return to your physical body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, your wrists and your ankles. Pull your knees up towards your chest and rock your body from side to side, slowly returning to a comfortable seated position. Congratulations for completing all 308 asanas of the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama. We are now going to move on to the power manifestation session. So stay tuned, manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva straight after this intense yoga practice, after the awakening of the Kundalini Shakti. Let's manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva. With this, let us conclude today's Nithyananda yoga session as we all sit straight with our head, neck and spine in a straight line, hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of the heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space as we chant the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Thank you all, Nithyanandam.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Tandem. I request all the participants here to please share your experience of the Nithyananda Yoga, of the experience which you had just performing this Nithyananda Yoga. We'll be entering to the power manifestation soon. So now let us all sit straight,